Hello, so welcome to this episode of History Hunters. We're at Vasquez Rocks, which is about 30 miles northeast of Los Angeles. It's not only the hiding place of California outlaw Tibercio Vasquez, who hung in 1875, but it's also a place where they filmed a lot of Hollywood movies, and we're going to take you and show you some of those places. So it was right in this area where they had bedrock scenes for Flintstones movie with John Goodman. They were shot right here. Those are very distinguished rocks. Of course, they filmed Star Trek 5 here, filmed a number of other Hollywood films through this location. This has been a mecca for Hollywood for a number of years. A number of Hollywood films were shot out here. Do you think maybe you're going to be scampering up any rocks up there?
Of course. But of course.
Right about in this area where Michael Jackson filmed that short film, or the music video, Black and White. In that video, George Wendt gets shot up into outer space and he lands here after Macaulay Culkin strums the electric guitar and the speakers blast him out into orbit, and he lands right in this area. There was a stage set up here, Indians dancing, Michael Jackson dancing as well. Captain James Kirk shot a number of shots right in this area. I think he climbed to the top of that. As you can tell, it's steep. We are at a location where Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure was filmed.
Whoa, no way.
And those mountains are in the background of this particular shot here. Just to the left of these very pronounced rocks that have been in millions of pictures, including Blazing Saddles. Captain Kirk came up here in the 60s, 1960s. Patrick Stewart also filmed an episode of Star Trek here on the other side of the rocks. Sarah thought maybe Lion King, the movie, was shot up here. Are you winded?
A little bit. That's some effort.
When you take a look at this landscape, it's kind of easy to realize why Vasquez himself used this as a hideout in 1874. It's a pretty cool place. It would be a perfect place for a noted bandit hideout way back in those days. Now out there on that plain is where they filmed Blazing Saddles. There's a scene with Slim Pickens looking back this way. It's believed that in 1874 this area was a hideout of outlaw Tibercio Vasquez, a charming ladies' man and bandit who rustled horses and robbed stagecoaches and stores. He was born in Monterey, California in 1835 and began rustling horses by 1856. A sheriff's posse captured him near Newhall, and he spent the next 5 years in San Quentin prison, where he helped organize and participate in 4 bloody prison breaks, which left 20 convicts dead. After his release in 1866, he committed numerous burglaries, cattle thefts, and highway robberies up and down California. He was captured after a burglary of a store in Petaluma and sent to prison once again, this time for 3 years. He was captured in an adobe house on a spot near what is now the Sunset Strip in West Hollywood in May of 1874. Found guilty at a trial in San Jose, and he was hung. And those tickets to watch the hanging were a coveted thing to have, because everybody wanted to see this guy hang. Even to this day, Tiburcio Vasquez remains controversial. He is seen as a hero by some for his defiance of what he viewed as unjust laws and discrimination. You gonna make it all the way to the top?
I don't know, it just depends on how steep it is. Because I have to be able to get down.
This is kind of the way the cliffs look in this area. It's like a lot of sandstone, maybe. One of the things that I noticed on the way in, because we traveled in on a freeway, it must have been very difficult to get here by horse way back in the 1870s. Sarah's trying to get to the top up there. She's somewhat of the daredevil. I think they're trying to encourage her to get to the top.
I think I'll go.
Be careful. Be careful. You're above me. You're above me. You would take me out like a bowling pin. Down there is where Patrick Stewart filmed the Star Trek film. Looking back this way.
Heart's racing. Yeah, there. It's a drop off. It's interesting how it has to be like.
Well, it was pushed up over time. It was laid flat and then.
He'll come over that ledge in a minute, I think. Yeah, see, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
He was tall enough to climb up over it.
Oh, shoot. I hope he's going to be okay. He should go down backwards.
Yep, there he goes.
I don't think Sarah's going to go all the way to the top. I don't think there's any need to.
Of course, there's never a need. It's all want. It's all want. But I might do it.
Sarah and I have been up Half Dome in Yosemite. It was worse than this, but I don't. For some reason, it's kind of.
Worse than this, it was easy.
It's kind of scaring us both. Yeah, we had cables, so I mean that kind of makes a difference. Looks like it's the same angle as Half Dome, but she doesn't think she can do it. I don't want her to, because it's very steep there, and
I think you have to go the way he came.
I don't want to take her back in a body bag. It's pretty steep here. Safest place along that crevice. I think they used a double maybe for Captain Kirk up here on. He went all the way to the top.
I'm okay with not going to the top.
I'm okay with you not going to the top too.
You gotta take it off his body now. You say me dying?
No.
Yeah, don't say that.
So in the movie you will see James Kirk running up this direction, and approximately right in this area right here they had some fake bamboo shoots or something. He goes running right up the hill there towards those rocks. So at one time a fort sat on this level field here between the rock formations and Highway 14 over there, built for the TV show Tales of the 77th Bengal Lancers. It was built at a cost of $118,000. The show only lasted one season on NBC and starred Philip Carey, Warren Stevens, and Patrick White. This fort also appeared in many subsequent productions, including the Star Trek Enterprise Arena of 1967, where Captain Kirk fights the Gorn Commander. In the early 1970s, the county of Los Angeles removed the fort, which was reportedly made of 2x4s, chicken wire, and plaster. It was gone by 1974 when Blazing Saddles was shot out here. In The Gunfighters in 1947, Randolph Scott's character is almost lynched in front of the big peak at Vasquez Rocks. Interestingly, the entire sequence was shot in Arizona, but suddenly it jumps to the Vasquez Rocks just for the lynching scenes.
1 inch. That's what I thought. Whitey, toss your rope over that limb. We don't shoot unarmed men, mister, not in this country.
Only hang 'em, huh?
Approximately in this area is where Slim Pickens and Burt Gilliam were sitting on horses in the scene with Cleavon Little, I believe, for Blazing Saddles. In the background, you'll see the mountains positioned kind of like this.
Now what the hell do you think you're doing with that tin star, boy?
Watch that boy, redneck. You talking to the sheriff of Rock Ridge.
Well, now, if that don't beat all.
It's out here on one of the hiking trails. I believe they shot that movie in 74, or at least it was released in 74. I see that somebody has horses over there, horse trailer. Awesome place to hang out if you're ever in Southern California. I'm pretty stoked. I found the exact location where Patrick Stewart, otherwise known as Jean-Luc Picard, filmed a scene from Star Trek Picard. Stewart was standing right off to the left there with that rock in the background. It almost looks like a guy with his lower lip stuck out. Visitors with goats.
I tend to find animals.
They're like dogs, huh?
Yeah, the Nubians are a lot like dogs. Nigerian goats more like cats. They have a little bit more finicky personality. Okay. These guys are very, very loving. You can
we approach it?
Yeah.
Where do you keep them, in the yard? Overwhelmed.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, take care. On this road passed a number of Hollywood legends. I think off the top of my head, Roy Rogers, Rex Allen, Tex Ritter, Michael Jackson, Mel Brooks, James Arness, and the other cast members of Gunsmoke, Randolph Scott, Cesar Romero, Bruce Willis, Lloyd Bridges, Will Smith, Julie Newmar, Audrey Hepburn, and Anthony Perkins, and we can't forget Fred and Barney themselves, John Goodman and Rick Moranis, as they rolled along in their vehicle made of stone and wood. So you got up there, but you were afraid to go to the top because you didn't think you'd safely find your way down.
Yeah, there's a point where I could kind of maneuver my way up, but I was more worried about how I would find my way down. Yeah.
So with buzzards flying around my head thinking I'm some kind of prey to kill or eat, I want to thank you for joining us on this episode of History Hunters at Vasquez Rocks. I hope that you learned a little bit more about the Hollywood history that was shot here, as well as some of the early history associated with Tibercio Vasquez, the outlaw that terrorized California back in the 1870s. We would love to have you subscribe to our channel, give us a like and a comment. Thank you so much.